With this letter, I hope to remind you of something quite basic: your inherent worth. Before you came into this life, you all made a serious vow. You made the deliberate and conscious decision to ground yourselves in this world and to raise the energy that whirls about your home planet. That choice was not made hastily because it has a lot of implications. Now, as you find yourself in this crucial situation, you must stop and think. Who really controls how your own trip unfolds? On the other hand, who decides what will happen to the vast, interdependent life force you call Earth? Whether intentionally or unintentionally, every one of you contributes to the collective reality of your life. Even though some of you made the decision to incarnate into lives that were full of difficulties and trials, you nevertheless responded with kindness and charity. You showed compassion to the living world that supports you as well as to your fellow creatures. Others, on the other hand, came into this experience surrounded by opportunity and plenty. Despite these benefits, they have opted for routes that deplete Earth's energy by extracting instead of replenishing. By taking advantage of resources and frequently disregarding the welfare of others around them, their actions diminish the natural realms of plants and animals. This contrast must be understood. Transformation is not driven by those who take. Rather, the world is being driven toward equilibrium by you, the ones who contribute. Knowing that you are a member of the group that decides to give, we address you directly. We recognize the sacrifices you have made and the fortitude you have displayed in overcoming the challenges of this life. We also see that a lot of you have met people who have served as reminders of your complexity. These people reminded you that you are bright sparks of creation rather than just entities of matter through their wisdom and kindness. You all entered this life with the same goal in mind: to help your planet evolve. This purpose encompasses not only humanity but also your Earth, the intelligent entity that keeps you alive. By serving her, you serve yourselves and all life that depends on her. Even while it could seem like your efforts aren't appreciated at times, we can guarantee that they are. Your bravery and tenacity are seen by us and other good alliances. You advance the common good every time you get back up after falling or offer assistance to someone else. This particular point in time marks a special turning point. The seeds of a new era have started to emerge, but the ancient buildings of the past are still there. You live in an area where different realities collide, resulting in a dynamic interaction between the past and the future. Unity is made possible by the blending of these timelines. It is an invitation to transcend the strict divides of past, present, and future, beyond the limitations of linear thinking. What it means to feel truly one could be a mystery to some of you. We recognize that this can seem elusive, particularly in a society where events are viewed as distinct and time is measured in chunks. But if you pay great attention, whether it's to the calm revelations in your dreams or the silence of your own being, you might start to feel something unusual. The lines between before and after vanish when you enter a level of timeless consciousness, which is what these subliminal whispers ask you to do. This awakening comes naturally to those who are prepared to answer its soft summons. We watch from our vantage point while your world undergoes significant transformation. Governance, economy, education, and other communal systems are all affected by these changes, which are not limited to any one field. The constraints that have kept you back start to relax when you wake up. By shedding the burden of division, you get one step closer to a world based on harmony and a common goal. Many of the dichotomies that characterize your present world, rich against poor, left versus right, one country against another, will eventually become less relevant. They will appear antiquated, remnants of a society that valued distance over intimacy. Systems that no longer serve your highest good will inevitably disappear with this change in viewpoint, to be replaced by ones that are more in line with your actual character. Your enlarged senses are waking even now. Your inner consciousness starts to see worlds beyond the third dimension, even while your physical form is still bound to the tangible. You are beginning to see glimpses of realities beyond quantifiable space and time. We see innumerable opportunities for your future as observers. But since this is your creation to mold, we decide not to impose. It is within your power, and your right, to decide what happens next. Nevertheless, we see that you are becoming more and more in need of a uniting presence. This is a need for a teacher, someone who encourages understanding of the interdependence of all things, rather than a savior. Such a person could swiftly rise to prominence in this era of global connectedness, bridging the divide between faith, reason, and scientific knowledge. Even though people could project their aspirations onto this image, The end result is always the same. Separation dissolves and unity triumphs. Think about bringing the energy of this vision to life if it speaks to you. Consider what it might be like to live in a society based on inclusivity and a common goal. Imagine a world in which ties that bind people together take the place of barriers that divide them. This is a possibility that is within your reach, not some far-off dream. Your planet's surrounding energies are becoming more intense. Waves of transforming frequencies, cosmic alignments, and solstices are all coming together to invite you to take control of your creative potential. For a little minute, imagine that everyone who is prepared to enter a higher state of consciousness stopped to take a single, intentional breath. A dim recollection, old and strong, would surface in that instant. Your universe moved into a wider frequency range 7 years ago, creating new avenues for travel to higher dimensions. This change opened up new opportunities for development and growth while easing the limitations of your prior reality. If you embrace this opportunity with patience and trust, you are at a position where your potential is almost infinite. You have unheard of momentum because of the huge number of souls on Earth and the collective wisdom accumulated throughout innumerable incarnations. We urge you to make the most of this enormous potential in the upcoming year. You will naturally draw people who share your vision if you concentrate on creating communities where everyone may prosper. Additionally, you will attract the interest of invisible allies, people who operate from worlds other than the physical. It's true that sometimes the entirety of who you are might be hidden by your outward appearance. It can be challenging to understand realities that vibrate at higher frequencies due to the limitations of the third-dimensional consciousness. Still, you're waking up. This awakening is an expansion into a more expansive way of being rather than just a change in awareness. It's not just a dream, that faint feeling of expectancy stirring inside you. It is a call to accept the next phase of your journey because it is genuine and significant. You may face new challenges throughout this stage of your journey, obstacles that call for bravery, flexibility, and an openness to the unknown. Consider it an initiation, a critical turning point that calls for fortitude as you enter a world of heightened consciousness. A lot of you are already sensitive to higher energy fields that go beyond the limitations of three-dimensional thinking. We urge you to see how your ancestry, the present manifestation of humanity, has opted to change via experiences that are frequently put to the test by fire, both literally and figuratively. The changes you observe in your shared reality are not coincidental. Rather, they spark a profound cleansing of the collective consciousness. Long-buried layers of unrest emerge to be recognized and let go beneath the surface of recent upheavals. Consider the fires that are burning in places like California. We remind you that no one here is a true victim, even if we have a great deal of empathy for everyone who goes through loss and sadness in these situations. Even though they are challenging, these experiences offer a chance for rebirth. You will emerge from the ashes of destruction with fresh courage and insight. Unbreakable relationships are created through shared adversity, creating a togetherness that is essential for the times ahead. This is a component of the initiation you have all decided to do, dear ones. You should approach it with anticipation rather than fear, since what lies beyond promises to elevate your own being. The change that awaits you will be greater than anything you could have ever imagined. You might be curious about the format of this initiation. Be aware that you are entering the vibrations of a fifth-dimensional realm, even if it is impossible to describe in detail. Those who are still accustomed to third-dimensional patterns may find these increased vibrations confusing, but the change is evident. As more of you awaken, more of you align with a higher purpose and start to resonate with these new energies. Despite being constrained by free will, your universe follows a sacred code that respects the sacredness of all life. Destructive forces have been testing this code for ages, causing your planet's evolution to deviate from its original course. The tide is now shifting, though, and the breakdown of antiquated structures portends a profound intellectual and spiritual growth. While many concentrate on local upheavals or political changes, the larger revolution is found in the dismantling of paradigms built on fear. A worldwide realignment is becoming possible as a result of these changes, bringing your world back to its original ideal of diversity, creative exchange, and boundless love. You are essential to this process, dear light-bearers. You are reviving the planet's collective energy as you unite through empathy, sincere conversation, and artistic expression. Interstellar communities will one day hail Earth as a shining example of harmony and creativity. Despite its size, this project is a fulfillment of a long-ago promise. You benefit the larger cosmic family as well as your planet by traveling this path. This is why you are here, dear ones, and you are not alone.